So as I understand it, you're in the process of creating an open source online learning system that's going to be funded by the US government. This sounds extremely intriguing. So I'm curious, what is the purpose of this? Who will it help? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we did, and we experimented with it, and the experiment has now come to an end. It was successful in some ways, not successful in some ways. The grant was, we work with a lot of public libraries. And it's interesting, Jennifer, we work with probably the most beloved government institution in our country, are public libraries. They consistently score the highest in terms of people loving that institution in their community. Of course, the two most hated government institutions in our country are the IRS is at the absolute bottom of that list, and the DMV is actually pretty much on the bottom too.
I knew it.
And I have quantitative data to back all of this up, by the way. I really do. We collect data for our taxing authorities, DMVs, and also public libraries. I love working with public libraries, not only because they're loved by their community, but the people there who work there are often very, very intelligent. And have really dedicated themselves to public service. Most of them have master's degrees and don't make a lot of money for the fact that they have a master's degree in information science. And so they're truly committed folks. So we work with a lot of public libraries. And a few years back, one of our public library customers said, hey, the library is no longer just a repository of knowledge where you can go get books and go get or check out a DVD or whatever. It's a vibrant place where there's a lot of learning occurring. It's a community hub. And is there a way for us to translate the learning that is occurring within these walls of each library or each branch online? Can we encourage community-based learning? And so that was the idea behind the software that we created. We called it Podium. Later we called it Crowd Course. And the idea was these public libraries could work in their communities to encourage both teachers and learners. And members in these communities would contribute essentially courses, structured format with curriculum, on a variety of topics, some of them academic, a lot of them not. We actually found that arts and crafts courses were the most popular type of course and the most requested kind of course as well. Yep, knitting.
Knitting. That's such a big trend.
Big trend. And we actually had, we piloted the software in several communities, Spokane, Washington, D.C., so big urban as well as semi-urban rural, State College, Pennsylvania. And we found two things. One is people loved it. They loved that they were being taught by other members in their community. And two, as you probably know, it takes an incredible amount of time to create high quality learning content online. A lot of editing, a great setup. Our viewers can't see this, but this is an amazing setup that we're in with great lights and multiple video cameras. All of this is truly what's needed for an excellent learning experience. And the bottom line is most libraries, public libraries in our country, couldn't find a way to quite finance that. So we built this software, we built the tools that would make some of this easier for public libraries. They were somewhat successful, but the reality is the resources aren't there quite yet. And frankly, there's a proliferation of a high quality online learning content. It may not be community mediated, meaning it might not be from that community per se, but it's still quite helpful. And so that's what we learned.